Hi, I'm Heather Lee, the Frugal Fashionista, and I'm just going to cut to the chase in this video. The thing that you all want to know is how to save money on clothing. Now, first of all, let me tell you the difference between frugal and cheap. I don't advocate a cheap clothing position. I'm not into recyclable clothing because the idea of being frugal is to take what you have in your budget and make the most of it for the least amount of money. That is not the same thing as cheap. And you can avoid paying full price for clothes because I haven't paid full price for anything in probably at least 3 or 4 years. But invest in really good items, and then there's some items that you don't have to necessarily invest in. You can go a little bit cheaper on, but there is a difference between frugal and cheap. So disposable clothing that you can get at some of these stores that I won't mention, but you know which ones they are, where you can buy something for $10, $12, $20 that's probably going to be ill-fitting, not wash well, fade very easily. Usually these stores are very trendy, and then in a year or so, you're going to end up having to throw out those clothes anyway. So I'm not advocating a position of cheap clothing, but rather frugal clothing. And I'm going to give you some tips on how you can save money that way. First things first, free is always frugal. So freebies are great, whether they're hand-me-downs, they're gifts. I have quite the collection of scarves. In fact, I think well over half the scarves I have are gifts from people because they love giving that to me, or jewelry. Obviously not real jewelry, but you know what I'm talking about. So freebies, hand-me-downs, really great to incorporate into your wardrobe. Sometimes it doesn't exactly match my aesthetic, but that's why I study fashion and pin stuff on Pinterest, is to get kind of an idea of how I can take those new pieces and incorporate them with the pieces that I already have. So it works out perfectly fine. So use freebies to your advantage, and if you can, make your own jewelry, knit, sew, whatever you can do. I know those aren't necessarily free because you have to buy materials, but it's a great way of saving money if you can make your own stuff a lot of times. I make my own jewelry, so a lot of times if I have jewelry I made, it's a lot cheaper than buying some of the beaded jewelry that you see in the stores. Second tip is to look for thrift consignment shops and also yard sales. So I'm going to kind of define the difference between thrift and consignment in case you don't know. Thrift stores, you donate the goods to a charity, like maybe Goodwill as an example, and they take those donations and they sell them for dollars, literally pennies on a dollar, and they make money to help fund whatever organization it is. A lot of times with thrift stores, people don't always donate really nice clothing, and probably a lot of it gets thrown out because it's not sellable, but you can find a lot of things that are nice. In fact, I found designer labels at my local thrift store. In fact, there's a thrift store not too far from here that has a lot of Coach bags, about 3 or 4 of them, because people will just donate a Coach purse. And so it's maybe $70, $75, but of course that's a lot less than what you would get for a Coach purse that's new in the store. Consignment shops are a little different. They're usually a little higher end in most cases, so you may have suits and wedding dresses and maybe more boutique apparel or designer labels at a consignment shop. So people will donate, not necessarily donate their goods to a consignment shop. What they do is they get a profit off of whatever the consignment shop makes. So they'll raise the price, and then a couple of dollars will go to that person who sent the goods. Plato's Closet, very, very good example of a consignment shop where you're taking your clothing, you're giving it to them, they pay you for it, and then of course they mark it up and sell it at a profit. So consignment shops, whether you get money up front or on the back end, that's the difference. And so usually the goods are a little bit nicer because they're not $3 or $4, they may be $15 for a dress. And yard sales, obviously you can get that definitely pennies on a dollar. In fact, I have a dress that I got at a yard sale not too long ago. It was for a student organization on my campus, and I negotiated this dress, which by the way is an express dress. Brand new with the tags. It's got a little bit of a fringe kind of thing here that's kind of 20-ish. And you can see a picture of me in this particular dress, completely styled, on my blog. And I paid 50 cents for it because they didn't want to have to pack up all these goods. They wanted to be able to get rid of them. And so as a result, I got it for 50 cents. So you had to be a little careful with yard sales because maybe the goods aren't great and you don't really know where they came from, and it is in front of somebody's house on their lawn. But I have found some good finds. Usually charity yard sales are the ones that I typically fund the most. Another way that you can save money is through subscription boxes, and I love subscription boxes. I've had several over the years. For example, I am into Julep. This is actually not a anytime recent box, but I subscribe to Julep, Pop Sugar must-have boxes. I currently have a subscription with Ipsy, so I should be getting my first box for a review very, very soon. And I've had a couple others that aren't fashion or beauty related. In subscription box, the whole idea behind a subscription box is to go online, you put in your information and your card information. Sometimes you can subscribe for 3 or 6 months or a year in advance to save a little bit of money, or you can do month to month. And most of them allow you to cancel within a certain amount of time. But the idea is that you get fashion and beauty products for pennies on the dollar. Some do full-size products, some do samples. And for example, this particular scarf I have, which I love, I wish you could feel the scarf because it is so soft. And let me see if I can find the tag because I cannot remember who created this scarf off the top of my head. Oh, it's called Broke Down is the name of the company. And this particular scarf, it's handmade. It retails for $80. I got it in my Pop Sugar box, which was 30, how much was it? $29.95. They've raised their prices recently. It was $29.95. I received it with 5 or 6 other things, so I can reasonably say I probably spent $5 to $7 on this particular scarf. And it's the only scarf I have that's a dry clean only scarf, but it's extremely nice. So subscription boxes definitely will allow you to try new products, particularly beauty products that may be higher end, like Urban Decay or Clinique or some other brands, that you don't necessarily want to invest in unless you like them. So it's a good way of trying products and saving sometimes as much as 80% off of that particular item. And finally, retail, because you can save money in going to retail outlets. It's very, very possible to do. First of all, go to semi-annual sales. They have them in January and in August. Great way to save money. So semi-annual sales, basically they're getting rid of their old inventory. They're trying to invite new inventory and make room for it. So you can save up to 80%. Now, here's the thing with semi-annual sales. The prices start to drop near to the end of the sale. The problem is that you might not find your size or the style that you like. So I always shop the first 2 days of a semi-annual sale, and that's really, really important because I want to make sure that I might not save as much as I could, but not having the product at all, which saves a lot of money because I don't spend any at all. But semi-annual sales, really great way to be able to work with your wardrobe and to add things to it. Rewards are another great way to save money. I have a New York & Company rewards card. It's platinum rewards. I save a lot of money, and I want to say, I don't have an exact amount, but to say that I've saved $1,200 to $1,500 in the past 2 years is an understatement, because I do have a professional job that requires suits and different types of professional attire, and so I've bought a lot from them, and I can actually buy off the rack with them. I'm really short, I'm 5'1". So the fact that I can actually buy off the rack, whether online or actually in the store, is really important. And I've saved a lot of money because those rewards add up, and so I'll get $20 off here or $15 off of a purchase or free shipping. I haven't paid for shipping in a long time. And so there's great ways to be able to save money through rewards. The other option is to sign up for mailing lists like Victoria's Secret. I mean, remember I said freebies are great, right? They will send you a voucher for a free panty at least 2 or 3 times a year. It used to be quarterly. I don't see it as often as I used to, but at least twice a year I'm going to get the option of a free panty. So there's no strings attached with it. I just go in and I pick it out. And then I get maybe $10, $15 off a bra. And also they're doing a lot more rewards programs as well. And so if you're on their mailing list, they may give you an offer or an online offer only available to those people that have signed up to the mailing list. So it's a great way for them to market, and also like Facebook pages and Twitter accounts as well, because they will sometimes send that information out via social media. Another way of saving money is by buying things online. A lot of stores have an actual storefront, and then, you know, your brick and mortar place that maybe is in the mall or freestanding. And then you also have the online version as well. And they will have sales online. Most of the online sales I have seen are closer to the middle of the week. They typically end by the end of the weekend. So you can find really great deals that are probably better than what you find in the store. Having said that, the problem with shopping online is make sure it's a place that you're comfortable with sizing, because some things do not look or fit the way that they seem that they would online, and then having to pay return shipping is a pain, and just having to return it through mail at all is a pain. You can also look for weekend sales in the actual brick and mortar stores. So if you go to the mall, you'll see lots of promotions, 50% off, up to 80% off of red lines. And so there's a lot of that usually over the weekend, because that's when mall traffic is heavy and they're trying to pull people into the stores. So shopping over the weekend is a lot better than shopping in the middle of the week, because stores are trying to entice you to buy. And of course, combination of any of these things is absolutely fantastic and very much encouraged. So my $20 rewards, I can combine that with $100 off a $200 purchase with free shipping, and I end up saving a lot of money. My biggest purchase that I saved the most money on, I made a $208 purchase through New York & Company. It was almost a $600 purchase. So I saved almost $400 between shipping, clearance items, additional red lines, $100 off of over a $200 purchase, BOGO, and then on top of that I had rewards. And you have to be careful because some places won't let you combine a whole lot. But if you can combine any type of sale items and any kind of rewards, that is definitely how you can get the most out of your wardrobe. But it takes a lot of pre-planning in order to do that. So those are my tips. The only one I did not mention because I am not familiar with, and if any company wants me to try this out, I will. I'm very skeptical of it, and that's renting clothing. There are a lot of websites like, for example, Rent the Runway, I think was one of the first. And I was reading an article recently that says millennials don't buy anything, they are more likely to rent. And they were talking about how Rent the Runway has this unlimited option. Well, I checked it out. It's $99 a month. And to be honest with you, I don't have $99 a month, and I have a professional job. I mean, I don't make outstanding money, but I do okay. But $99 a month for clothing, I don't even spend that on new items. So the idea of renting items and then having to send them back and not knowing if they're going to fit just seems like a really big ordeal to me. I haven't tried it, so I can't verify whether it's a good method. So until I get the opportunity to maybe review maybe one of those subscription services where you can rent clothing, I'll let you know. But those are my deals, my tips for how you can save money on fashion. And if you want more tips for style, makeovers, product reviews, all those wonderful things, because I help you do the research, which research is really, really important, so that you know that you're buying the best stuff for the best price, then you definitely want to subscribe to my channel, and all my other information is down below the video. So until next time, happy shopping!